This is the video for 7.5 day 2 homework examples. So I have, I believe, 5 examples I'm going to do in this video. The videos previous to this will cover the rest of the example homework type problems. All right, so first starting off with in number 4, in 2005 the total waste generated in a certain country was 4.916 times 10 to 12 pounds. Also in 2005, the country's population was 1.15 times 10 to the 8th people. Determine the garbage per capita per person in that country in the year 2005. Okay, so the amount of garbage is going to go on top because it says garbage per capita, which means garbage per person. So the amount of garbage is 4.916 times 10 to 12. We're going to divide. Over, remember that word per means divide. So we're dividing by the number of people, 1.15 times 10 to the 8th. So using your calculator, you're going to divide 4.916 by 1.15. So put 4.916 in your calculator first, divided by 1.15, and you get a big long decimal. It says to round to 2 decimal places as needed, so I'm going to round to 4.27 times 10 to the, take the exponents on top and subtract the exponent on bottom, and I get times 10 to the 4th. Now notice it says to use scientific notation, and make sure you use the X that's in the tool palette. Okay, and that is the answer for number 4. All right, number 5. When we're evaluating fractions that have an exponent on the outside, anytime we have just a number, that number has an exponent of 1 on the inside. So we're going to multiply, for the 4, we're going to multiply the exponent inside times the exponent on the outside, so that's 4 squared. For the 9, we're multiplying again, the exponent on the inside times the exponent on the outside, so that's 9 squared. Now, do not put this in your calculator, just simplify. 4 squared is 16, 9 squared is 81. And since 4/9 doesn't simplify, then 16 over 81 will not simplify. All right, number 8. If you have positive exponents inside the parentheses and a negative exponent on the outside, you simply flip the fraction inside the parentheses. So we're going to flip it, so that's 4 over 3, and change the exponent to a positive. So that's 4/3 to the positive 1, which is just 4/3. Okay. Number 9. All right, so I'm going to do like I did on the 7.5 day 1. I'm going to make these into 3 different fractions. 5 over 15, those are like terms. X to the negative 2 over x to the 4th, those are like bases. Y to the 5th over y to the negative 8. Now, why did I do y to the negative 8? Because right here, for y, I have an exponent inside and an exponent on the outside. So I went ahead and just multiplied those. Now let's reduce. 5 and 15 both divide by 5. So that's 1/3. For the x's, I'm going to subtract the exponent on top and the exponent on bottom, so that's negative 6. For the y's, subtract the exponent on top and the exponent on bottom. So 5 minus negative 8 is 5 plus 8. All right, so what's going to move? Well, the x to the negative 6 is going to move because it has a negative exponent. So it's 1/3 times 1 over x to the 6 times, y to the 13th over 1. So multiply the numerators together, you get y to the 13th over 3x to the 6th. Okay, and last example, number 10. Again, we have a problem like we did on number 8. We have all positive exponents inside the parentheses, and we have a negative exponent on the outside. So I'm going to start by flipping the numerator and the denominator that's inside the parentheses and changing that exponent to a positive 2. Now I'm going to multiply each exponent inside the parentheses by 2. Now, x to the 5th times 2 is x to the 10th. Y to the first times 2 is y to the second. On the bottom, 5 to the first, 1 times 2, that's 5 to the second. X, 1 times 2, that's x to the second on bottom. Y, 3 times 2 is y to the 6th. Alright, so now I'm going to separate all the fractions. 1 over 5 squared times x to the 10th over x squared. Okay, why is that a 1? Because that's a coefficient on top. Times y to the second over y to the 6th. Alright, so 1 over 5 squared, that's just 1 over 25. For the x's, I'm subtracting the exponents. 10 minus 2, that's x to the 8th over 1. For the y's, 2 minus 6, that's y to the negative 4 over 1. So I need to flip this one and make it positive. So 1 over 25 times x to the 8th over 1, 1 over y to the 4th. Multiply all the numerators and multiply all the denominators. So x to the 8th over 25y to the 4th. All right, now you're ready to do the homework problems for 7.5, day 2.